For every single one of us on earth. When our ships have crossed the ocean,
you should have some sheets around, you should have something. When our ships have crossed the ocean, and they
Thank you. Good evening, families and friends. I'm going to be reading a little tribute here to my auntie, so bear with me because I have a lot to say, but I'll make it short. I'm looking at a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, and it's really good to see you all. Most of you will remember this face, some of you don't know me, but let's go. I stand here this evening on this solemn occasion to represent one of Aunt Ethlyn's niece. That niece is Cynthia Campbell, better known as Teacher Bernie, who have been my beloved wife of 40 years and counting. I am also standing here to present our children, both present and those who are unable to be present, those who are present and those who are unable to be present today. Aunt Ethlyn was a wonderful auntie to Bernie. She told me so many good times of her wonderful memories while she was a young girl growing up on Main Street in Roadtown with Aunt Ethlyn, the rest of the family, including Aunt Daisy, just across from the old coffee shop. Who remember that building? That home later became the Beacon Bible Bookstore. You know how these iPhones jump as they feel like while you read? She also was there with her grandmother, Pearl Flax, and Aunt Ethlyn's husband. I'm trying to get this thing clear from here. Uncle Roosevelt, and others in the family home just across. Okay, I read that already. Aunt Ethlyn opened that building on Sunday, December 13, 1987. It became the Beacon Bible Bookstore, which I think lasted for many years, even after we left BBF. There were presents of families and well-wishers at that gathering. Aunt Ethlyn, involved in young Teacher Bernie's life, helped to groom her to become an excellent student at the then Roadtown School and become a preschool teacher at Aunt Daisy's preschool for over 30 years, to be a wonderful mother and an awesome wife. Thank you, Aunt Etlin. Really thank you. You also impacted my life in some way. One thing I know, Bernie loved her Auntie Etlin and talks constantly. I used to do some banking back in the days at Scotiabank in the late 70s. One day I walked into the bank and saw this lady sitting at a desk behind the teller's counter. I became a bit confused because I thought she was my cousin who had never been to the Virgin Islands. Each time I go to Scotia, I had to remind myself, John, that's not your cousin. Sitting at a certain desk, she is not my cousin who lives in Jamaica. Aunt Etlin had looked so much like my cousin. I was not acquainted with Aunt Etlin, even though I would have seen her in the bank on many occasions and around town, until I became involved with her niece Bernie. I became part of the family officially on the 24th of March 1984, and Aunt Etlin did a wonderful job to help prepare us for our wedding. She was not my cousin now, but she became my auntie. A very memorable occasion of her niece and I, Bernie, aunt, was Aunt Etlin. Name was called at our wedding reception at Fort Berg to render her contributions to the reception. And I can tell you this, you know Aunt Etlin just as I do. She was sparkling that day. She was sparkling. She stand up with confidence and she unfolded a long sheet of white paper. And she stand with pride and joy and enthusiasm, and she rendered aloud a long, sweet, juicy poem with deep joy and in style, which she composed herself, I understand later. It was like she added extra spice to the poem. We cherish those days to this day. On top of that, she was elegantly dressed in a nice pink dress and a really nice 80s hairdo. There you go. Our photographer captured a stunning photo of her standing reading the poem, which became one of my favorite photos of Aunt Etlin. Since her passing, I had to share the photo in our family chat to remind our family again how young and beautiful she was. There are many other great memories of Aunt Etlin. On many Sunday afternoons after church, Aunt Etlin would invite the families from town to Hatteras Creek for a little dining, fun, and relaxation. But the main reason I suspect we kept getting invitations was for the George family to continue to put some more licks and blows on us, the Campbells and the Simmons, when we all settled down to play the game. Bottle.
Oh yeah. Oh
A
yeah.
game, who don't know it, it's a game of make as much words as you can from 12 letters in a box sitting in front of you. While the preteens and young teen played hide and seek in the nearby bushes, Janice was most time the winner. Uncle Roosevelt, Greg, Janice, and Michael. You remember those days? Mm-hmm. Your vehicle that you drove out around town was VI 2292. You remember?
Yes.
All right. There you go. Somehow the visitors never do well in winning battle at Aunt Etlin's home. But we did give back some good blows, of course, when they come to town. It was town versus Hatteras Creek. Aunt Etlin did set a high standard for her children, the rest of the family, the community, and the BVI in general. Everyone here probably knows Aunt Etlin was indeed a lady of class in every department of her life, including her church life. Her smile was contagious. She was also a well-spoken, respectful lady during her conversations with anyone.
Yes.
Finally, about 4 weeks ago, Janice called Teacher Bernie in Atlanta to FaceTime with Aunt Etlin. I understand it was Aunt Etlin's wish list to call a list of families and friends to chat a bit. She was still the same vibrant auntie I know, or we know. She was strong and spoke as usual. We had a pleasant, normal, joking chat with her usual affectionate smile. It was amazing the good spirit she was in. and she did not miss a beat. Bernie and I were surprised how upbeat and strong she was, even though she was sick. It was like she was saying bye-bye in a positive, upbeat way, without actually saying so. Sadly and unfortunately, it was the last phone conversation with Aunt Ethel, and seeing her looking so happy. We were able to see her alive one more time when she recently was in the hospital, and our son Wayne FaceTime from the hospital on April 8th for a few minutes so we could see her for what seems to be her departing time. Sadly, no conversation was possible with Aunt Ethel, and she did sleep away the next day. And Aunt Ethel will be forever be in our hearts and minds. She fought a good fight. She had done her very best. Now, Auntie, take your well-deserved rest. Thanks again, Aunt Ethel, for all you did for the entire family, the community, your church, and the BVI in general. May you rest in eternal peace. Love always, from John, Bernie, and the entire family.
The church, board member for
I don't look at my phone until somebody calls me. So I miss a lot of messages. And my children always curse me and say, Mommy, you're supposed to be intelligent, you want to get so dumb. You must read your phone. Nevertheless, I just want to say special condolence to the family, for the Roosevelt Church, the children, Sister Daisy, 61 years ago.